Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Logan Sargent lines up on pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Gasly, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Leclerc, Magnussen, De Vries, Tsunoda, Albon, Joe, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Verstappen, Hamilton, Sainz, Russell, Bottas, Oscar Piastri, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint. The formation lap gets underway ahead of today's sprint. It's going to be interesting to see who gets pole position. As all the cars take their positions on the grid, the final preparations have been made, and all that's left is for the drivers to deliver on track.
Nice move, good job. P13, you're currently in P13. Ocon ahead. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh mediums. That's Hulkenberg behind. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, so gap to the leader is 5.0 seconds. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, 18 laps to go. than a second. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 2 laps old. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 28.5, and you're closing by 0.4 a lap. Keep it going. Albon's ahead of you. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 1.3 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 3 laps old. Time last lap was a 1:27.3. Alright, at the moment you're losing 0.3 a lap. Come on, dig in. Gap to your teammate ahead is 3.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're currently 5th, and the time last lap was a 1 minute 26.2. Car behind by 0.5 a lap. Okay, Magnussen ahead. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 5 laps old. Your last lap time was a 1:27.6. Right, you're falling back by 1/10 a lap. 7th place. Our gap to the car in front is 2.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Magnussen's behind you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. Our gap to first place is 9.7 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 13 laps to go. Fastest lap at this point in time is a 1 minute 25.2. Sorry, we can't provide you with that information right now. Okay, gap ahead is 2.4 seconds. Gasly's ahead of you, and gap to the car in front is 1.7 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 8 laps old. Time last lap was a 1:27.3. This is great. We're gaining by around 9/10 a lap. Keep it up. Okay, the car behind is dropping back. We're seeing a gap starting to form. Managing your tyres, manage your tyres. P6, you got P6. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 1.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. Gasly behind. They're on old mediums. Okay, gap to leader, 9.3 seconds. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. 9 laps to go. Fernando's ahead of you. Less than a second separates you. They're on old mediums. Okay, they've done 10 laps on those tyres. And the time last lap was a 1 minute 27.5. Okay, so you're gaining by 1/10 per lap. Gap on the car behind by around a second a lap. Just ahead, push for the position. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 2.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 12 laps old. Your last lap time was a 1:27.7. Okay, so you're gaining by 1/10 per lap. Green flag. Ahead. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 2.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 13 laps old. Time last lap was a 1 minute 28.2. 1.2 seconds advantage per lap. Keep going. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 1.7 seconds. laps of fuel remaining. Lando's ahead of you now. Our gap to the car in front is 1.3 seconds. They're on old mediums. Fernando is behind you now. We're leading the car behind by 1.7 seconds. They're on old mediums. The distance to the leader is 3.3 seconds. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, just 5 laps until the end. Gap to your teammate behind is 1.7 seconds. We've got 4 laps of fuel remaining. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Tyre condition still looking good. Okay, gap ahead is 2.1 seconds. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Okay, you've got P3, well done. Leclerc ahead, and gap to the car in front is 1.3 seconds. They're on old mediums. Norris is behind you. Okay, gap to the car behind, 1.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, so gap to the leader is 2.8 seconds. Your pit window is open, pit window currently open. 2 laps left, next time by will be your final lap. We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Well done, pole position for tomorrow.
Lovely.
Yes, and that's a podium. Excellent drive. The whole team have worked especially hard this weekend, and that, my friend, is a fantastic reward. Well done.
Let's see how the drivers' standings have changed. Our championship leader is still sat at the top of the standings, but their rivals have made up some solid ground today. Well, that wraps up the sprint. All that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.